A Knicks insider just confirmed that there is a Knicks trade imminent, as New York has focused a lot on finding what exactly this roster is going to look like, with there being a lot of trade rumors and a lot of discussions surrounding multiple players on this roster and who is going to be making the final cut of the roster, with there being so many storylines surrounding this, a lot of different players who are fighting for these roster spots, and on top of that, the Knicks also having to make a trade in order to do exactly what they want to do and fulfill their master plan, and we are going to go over all of this. There is a lot to discuss on the Knicks right now, as guys, basketball is back, and with it being back, it is so exciting to see all the moves the Knicks are going to make now that we are once again in season, and we're going to have daily videos coming out a lot of the time, more than one per day. So if you are not subscribed, if you're part of that 56% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single New York Knicks update. We are having so much fun on this channel right now, going over all things Knicks. So make sure to be subscribed and have those post notifications on, and let's jump into the video, because look, Leon Rose in the Knicks front office has a very tough decision to make going forwards, because effectively there's too many players on the roster right now, as most preseason rosters do end up having, and with the Knicks, here's where things get a little bit tricky. They want to add as many veterans to this team as possible. Leon Rose said that the Knicks' pure goal is to win the 2026 NBA championship. It is their entire focus, is trying to win a ring. They changed coaches for that, and now they've made an elite bench unit. However, that bench unit is not finished being made, because while the Knicks do have two very exciting young players in Tyler Kolek and Pacome Dadier, both of whom have found themselves in a lot of trade talks, so the Knicks can add on more veterans. Guys like Landry Shamet and Malcolm Brogdon, who were signed by the Knicks and put on these non-guaranteed deals, want to make that final roster spot. The other one is Garrison Matthews, and with all that happening, there's been a ton of discussions running what exactly is going to happen, and a Knicks insider in Ian Begley broke down exactly where things are at, saying Landry Shamet, Malcolm Brogdon, and Garrison Matthews are currently battling for one available roster spot. The Knicks have 14 players on standard deals. They can carry a maximum of 15 players on standard contracts, so they have enough room on the roster to keep one of the three veterans. Also, due to the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement rules, the Knicks team salary cannot exceed $207.8 million. The Knicks only have enough money to keep one of Shamet, Brogdon, or Garrison Matthews. In order to keep two of the three veterans, the Knicks would need to trade one of their players currently signed to a traditional contract. Those two guys have usually just been Pacome or Tyler Kolek. No one else has really found themselves in trade talks. And Bagley continued by saying, "You will know what the Knicks decide by 5 p.m. on Saturday. That is the deadline to waive a player on a non-guaranteed deal without taking on any salary. So the Knicks will need to make a decision on Shamet, Brogdon, and Matthews by Saturday evening. Regular season rosters then need to be set by October 20th. The Knicks can choose to waive all three veterans and enter the season with 14 players on the roster. Teams can dip under the 14-player minimum for 2 consecutive weeks and 28 days total, but that seems unlikely. The Knicks, again, communicated that these veterans were competing for a spot, so the Knicks will probably keep at least one of the veteran players, but all signs have pointed to that they're going to be keeping both of them, is what we have seen up to this point, just because this is where exactly the Knicks have found themselves. So obviously, at the end of the day, the Knicks are looking to try to find what's best for this team. They want to be able to figure out a way to keep two veterans because they're focused on winning the NBA Finals. That's what matters to the Knicks at the end of the day. It's not what's going to happen in 2029. It's about what's going to happen in 2026. And what's going to happen in 2026 is the Knicks have one of the best odds to win the NBA championship. They're right up there with the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Cavs, the Timberwolves. The Knicks are... It really, to me, if you ask me, I think there's 5 teams that can win the championship this year, if I'm being real. Now, other teams can, but I really think it'd be a shock if one of the 5 teams that aren't the Knicks, the Cavs, the Thunder, the Nuggets, or the Timberwolves don't win the NBA Finals. And I don't really trust that it's going to be the Timberwolves because, frankly, I just don't think they have enough shooting to make that thing work. I don't think an Anthony Edwards lineup with Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert is going to win anything. I just think it's overall terrible spacing. And at the end of the day, that's just what it's really going to go down to. So that's really just where we're all at right now. And frankly, I just truly believe that the Knicks, they are going to make a deal at the end of the day. They love Malcolm Brogdon. There is no secret behind that. The Knicks have wanted Malcolm Brogdon for 2 years. On top of that, they want another veteran as well. I'm fully convinced that Malcolm Brogdon is safe, that there's no way he gets traded. But also Shamet or Matthews is going to be getting a job as well with the Knicks. Now, we look at the way that all these guys have played in Summer League up to this point, and Landry Shamet thus far has struggled. I mean, the man is only shooting 30% from the field and 25% from three, which is a bit worrisome for Shamet because he has not played up to snuff right now, which has been a bit worrisome. He's averaged 3.7 points in that span as the Knicks shooter, not shooting the ball too well. Meanwhile, we then look at Garrison Matthews, who only has shot 33% from the field, but has shot 41% from three and consistently put up 9 points, 6 points, 6 points, 6 points, putting up 6.8 points, also hitting threes at a 41% clip. Right now, it does feel like Garrison Matthews has done enough to steal that role away from Shamet, especially when considering he puts up an assist and a half per game, a rebound. He's looked quite good. So I do think we are really walking into the territory of seeing Garrison Matthews get that spot next to Malcolm Brogdon. Brogdon hasn't put up the craziest numbers by any means. Averaging 4.2 points on 4.2 shot attempts is not ideal. His shooting numbers have been atrocious in the 29 area, shooting from threes in the 25% area. Obviously, this is all 4 games for each of these guys, so nothing's really, like, you know, a sure thing, but putting up 4.2 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists, and a steal per game when you're Malcolm Brogdon, also giving excellent veteran leadership, is going to be enough for Brogdon to make the team. I would be stunned if Malcolm Brogdon is not on this Knicks roster. If one person's going to be on it, I do think it's going to be Brogdon, if I'm being completely honest here. And Knicks fans, they love Garrison Matthews more than anyone. Seeing Garrison Matthews is like a better Matt Ryan. I am 100% keeping Garrison Matthews somehow. I thought Garrison Matthews was going to lace that, just stuff like that. Knicks fans are absolutely loving Garrison Matthews. And when we look at this last game where we saw the Knicks' entire bench unit really go out there and play, where a lot of guys were fighting for roster spots, we saw that Matt Ryan is not going to make it. It's cool to have Matt Ryan around just because he's the man. He'll go to the Westchester Knicks. And Garrison Matthews did have his worst shooting performance to date, only shooting 1 for 5 from 3. Still put up 6 points, but shooting 1 for 6 from the field, obviously, is not the numbers you want to see. Kevin McCullough played well. And outside that, we also saw Mohamed Diawara and Tosan Awoma play well, which is great to see, on top of Trey Jemison. So the two-way guys are looking very good between Jemison, Awoma, and McCullough. All of them had good games. So great to see the two-way guys are going to be helpful. And then you look at that and understand the Knicks do have another wing, or really 2 other wings there, with McCullough and Awoma helping out on those two-way contracts, which makes Malcolm Brogdon feel like he's even more of a lock, especially when we've seen Jordan Clarkson play some small forward. He started at the small forward. We saw Malcolm Brogdon and Deuce McBride in the backcourt. Brogdon only shot 2 for 7. He put up 3 assists in that span and 2 rebounds. But really, at the end of the day, we did see a Knicks bench unit that performed not great, considering that they lost to the Wizards by the amount of points they lost to. But still, it was their bench unit playing, and obviously, the way that they're still trying to figure everything out, and they didn't really have a center at all, starting with Gershon Yabusele at the 5, so that's something to be aware of as well. But for the Knicks, what we're going to be seeing is 2 of these guys making it, and I really do think Garrison Matthews has done enough to steal that from Landry Shamet. We're going to see what happens in the coming days, and we're going to report on it right as it happens, so make sure you subscribe and have those post notifications on so you don't miss that video and all the other videos we got for you. Like this, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, guys. Go Knicks.